Well, good morning, you crafty lot. How are you? How's your weekend been? How's your last week been? It feels like forever since I've been up here. It's probably only been about a week, but yeah, it seems like a long time. So I hope you're all good on this Monday morning. I hope the sun's shining. Is it hot where you are? I hear in the UK, temperatures are going to soar this week. So it's already warm. I think it's around 21 degrees. But apparently they're going to get up to 30 degrees in the UK. So in some parts, I think sort of in London, so more down south, it's going to be quite hot. So I'm heading back that way, and hopefully on my birthday on Saturday it'll be nice and hot, which will be very nice because I'm going out for an afternoon tea and cocktails. So yes, which will be very, very nice. I hope you're all well anyway. What have you been up to? Let me know. We are fully interactive. You're joining me on Craft Your Stash. Now I love a Craft Your Stash because this isn't about anything that we sell, and in fact the things that I'm doing we haven't actually got in stock at the moment, because when they came in they literally just sold out because they were so popular. And I'm on about the banner dies. So if I bring these in so you can see them, these are the ones that we're going to be doing, because I thought they came in and went out so quickly that I thought it'd be really nice to see exactly what you can do with them, and hopefully we'll get some more of these in the future, because I think they're so usable and absolutely amazing. So this is what we're going to be using today in Craft Your Stash. So if you've got any questions, or you might have created something with these banner dies or banner sentiments, if you've created anything, then send in, let me know what you've done with them, what sort of things that you like them for. I love the fact because you've got so many different wording on them, which is amazing. Right, as I said, we're fully interactive this morning, and we've got our Radical Rachel's in. She's actually saying that she's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. I like that. And Stephen Nichols is already in this morning, saying good morning, Debbie. Morning, Stephen. And we've got Sam in my ear as well. He's in with me, saying hello. Lynette is in this morning as well, and she's saying morning, Debbie, from a lovely sunny Norfolk. Very nice. Yes, I bet it's nice. It was nice when I left yesterday in Norfolk. Although I say that, it was sunny when I left. I had to think then, because we had sort of showers over the weekend, and we actually had a barbecue on Saturday, because I had some really, I say bad news, it wasn't really bad news, but we were supposed to be going to see ABC in concert, and Martin Fry, it was supposed to be like an intimate meeting with Martin Fry and ABC, and it got cancelled. Martin Fry wasn't very well, so we ended up not going to the concert in the end. Don't tell Debbie though, because she covered my shows for me on Saturday, but it was too late to sort of tell her by the time we knew. So yeah, that's it. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Sam's asking me if it was ABC that did Poison Arrow. And then Karen's in as well, saying evening from Adelaide. Oh, evening, Karen. So all the way from Aussie. Nora is saying Monday, happy Monday, everyone, from a sunny Arizona. Louise Burton is in saying hello, everyone, as well. So lots of you coming in this morning and joining us for our nice early morning show with Craft Your Stash. I'm going to show you some samples, I think, to start off with, and then we'll get into a couple of demos and show you what you could be doing with them. But I love the samples of these, so let me just show you the sorts of things that you can do. What's nice about these is that they came with edgeable dies, so you can edge the sentiments as well. So you can have them just cutting in, but you can also create this beautiful edgeable with them as well. But because they're a sort of border die, you can put them onto the edge of anything that you want to. I love that at the bottom, at the sides there, and then that anniversary at the bottom. I love this one, cutting them into your die cuts. How fabulous is that? So right through the middle of your die cut heart there, and then best wishes, love you lots. I love that one. Just using them as a nice little border sentiment onto a Z fold card. Great one here as well, really nice using it a couple of times down your border, because they don't cut out, they just cut in. It means you can cut them as long as you want. You can have a whole big border full of that. And then I love that best wishes going across there. And then what about multiple using them going down the page? Literally they would just cut out that detail for you. So special friend, just for you. Thank you. So I absolutely love that. Right, so let's get started, shall we, on a demo. Trudy is saying, what sparkle stuff did you paint on the card? Oh, hang on, I think I need to go back a bit because, oh, don't know what happened there. I honestly don't know what happened there. I don't know what that must have been a really old message that I had there. For some reason, it went right up my chat line to probably weeks ago. I was like, what sparkle stuff? I didn't use any sparkle stuff. Pauline is saying, hi everyone, absolutely love using these. Brilliant, Pauline. Yes, they're amazing, aren't they? And Christine Mahoney's in saying, good morning, everyone. Yes, so all good. Right, let's pop these down here. And let's get started. So I thought, let's make a shaker card out of them. So I always love doing a shaker, and I love the fact that these work really well on just a plain piece of card, die cutting into it, and then you can create something really special. So let's have a look. I'm gonna use the thinking of you. So let me just look onto here. So I normally look at what you got. So these are all the different messages that you've got on here. So we want the thinking of you here. So that's on, I think it's this one here. In between special, yes, I think that's the one. Special friend. We'll soon know, won't we, if we cut it out and it's not the right one. Right, now because I am using it goes that way round. Not because I'm using one piece of card, it doesn't matter whether it's upside down or not, but just be mindful of where you think that is going to go. So I can see that thinking of you must be that way. There we go. That's the way. Not that that really matters. And then on here as well, what you've got is these little borders. So I'm going to use the sort of scalloped edge one, and we're going to line this up. So I'm going to use my glass mat. So just going to place that onto there. So I know that I've got a sort of rough border all the way around. Now what I have done is with my card, I've used my paper trimmer and I've cut a border out because I want a border to go round onto here. So I'm going to just place that where I think I want that to be. So roughly about there. That way, then I can see exactly where I want my borders to go. So I'm going to do that in the center. And I'm going to roughly work out where the center of my card is. So it's just a little bit down, and then the border as well. So I want to leave a little bit of the cream card, but I also want to have enough to show through to use it as a shaker card element. So once I've got those in place, bring those out the way, and then I can bring in my tape. So I'm going to just hold that into place, and I'm going to put that onto both there, and then I'm also, just for security, so that border doesn't move, I'm also going to bring that onto that piece as well. So I'm sticking my tape more in the middle because this piece is what's going to be cut out. So, and then all we're going to do is run that through our Gemini machine, like so. So let me know, are you sunshine babes? Do you like the sunshine, or do you hide in the shade, or is it just a little bit too hot for you? We have a mixed bunch in the UK, don't we, of people that love the sunny weather and people that it's just a little bit too hot for. So yes, love to know that. So once we've done that, you can see that thinking of you is cut directly into there. So I'm just going to take that away very gently, only because I don't want that to rip any other parts of my card. And then we're going to take that border away as well. So just, there we go. And then that piece, take that away as well, like so. So it is one of those designs that you use these wherever you want them to be. What I want this now to do is to cut out here. So I'm going to use that across that bit, like so, and right down to the scallop detail, so you can see. And then we're just going to take our tape again. See that first, that would have helped. Going to do that a couple of places along there. There we go. So one piece on there, one piece on there. And then run that through again. And actually this is, yeah, I don't think it's more than 3 inches. You could probably use this through the mouth of your mini machine as well when you're creating borders like this. So let's take that one out of there. There we go. So that's given us this little border So I'm just going to take that tableware. I'm not worrying that that's ripping there because we're going to take that out. Like so. And then all we're going to do is use our craft knife. I haven't got my ruler at hand, but I'm just going to cut that down. So we're going to cut that from this piece to there. And then I'm also going to cut this little notch out, which is from that border. Like so. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. If you've got a paper trimmer, you could do it with that. If you want to just use your scissors, absolutely. Whatever your, however you want to do that. So that creates that border there. I mean, if you're careful with your tape, that would create another little border and you could stamp onto that and use that on another project if you wanted to. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So this time we're going to go in this way onto there, and then just use our tape to tape that one down. Like so. Oh, we've got quite a nice day today because we've got Keith in from Paper Dynamics. He's going to be in at 11. Oh yeah, no, we finish at 11. He's going to be in at 12 to 1, and then 2 till 4. And then I'll be back for Monday Makers at 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's going to be a nice day. See what Keith's going to bring today. I'm sure some really cool papers. Right, let's cut those ones out as well. And run that one through. I've got a poorly arm today, Sam. Got a poorly arm. I've been decorating over the weekend. So on Saturday, because we were supposed to be going to see ABC, we then decided that as we wasn't going out, let's decorate and let's have a barbecue. So we invited my, well, my daughter was already going out. So we invited my son-in-law around with my grandchildren, my granddaughters, and my dad. So we had a barbecue, but we decided that we would paint our hallway. Yeah, so my arm hurts because, silly me, when I was cutting in, you know, it wasn't just a, was it a 5-litre tin? You know, the tins of paints, I think they're 5 litre. It was the bigger one, so it must be like, yeah, 7.5 maybe, 7.5, I think. So I'm holding that to do all the cutting in and holding it on my arm. Why would I do that? Because then the next day I was like, oh, my arm really hurts. And I thought, well, it's my own fault, isn't it, for doing that. So, but there you go, that's the sort of thing that I would do. We just went white, we've whitewashed it all, so, so it just looks nice and clean. So we're all good. Is that what you just said, Sam? Yeah. So, yes. So has anyone else been decorating? Let me know. There we go. So I'm just going to place that back in so I can then know exactly where I'm going to put this piece here. So this is nice because you can just have a little play with your dies, put them wherever you need them to be, create borders, and because even though these are small borders, you can sort of elongate them so they can work wherever you put them. So let's just place that on there. Just realised I think I've put that one the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter. I've got another one that I can show you. I just wanted to do it from start to finish so you could see how easy it was to work with these dies and to create good little borders. Let's have a look. We've got Art by Jan is in. She said, oh, I bought some of these dies recently, but I haven't tried them yet. So I'm excited to see some of the ideas and how to use them. I've lost my mojo lately. Oh, Jan, I think we all go through that, don't we, where we lose our mojo. And it's really hard sometimes to get back. My biggest advice that I can give you when you lose your mojo is to go on Pinterest. Not for anything other to browse, because there is so much on Pinterest. Just type in things that you like. If you like flowers and it's card making you're into, or box making, type flower themed cards, flower themed handmade boxes, anything like that. And it's just a really cool way of being able to look for something to just ignite that creativity again. And then the other thing is to go on YouTube, type in Crafters Companion, and just look at all the videos that they've got there. If you subscribe, you'll be able to see that there are loads of different videos that you can watch, and hopefully that will offer you some inspiration. And Laurie is saying, I wouldn't mind the heat if I had air conditioning like in the USA, but without it in Germany, it's a little bit too hot. Laurie, we were out in Germany once before, me and Sarah, and it was so hot, and we stayed at this really quaint little hotel. And in fact, to go down to breakfast in the morning, you had to go down, it was like in a cellar, and you had to go down these really steep little stairs, and and the shower was in like the smallest little bathtub you've ever seen. It looked like a bathtub, but it couldn't have been more than about this. So you'd sort of step into it with just, and the curtain would like cling on to you when you were showering. So it was a really quaint little hotel. We couldn't get into the normal hotel that we were in, but it was really lovely. But that was really hot day, and me and Sarah were absolutely sweltering. And then you'd go down into what seemed like the cellar to have your breakfast in the morning. So I remember it being really hot in Germany as well. Janice is saying, I love the sunny weather, but hate the heat. So I stay in the shade. See, I love the heat, apart from, I was just saying to Sam this morning, I don't like it at night time when you can't sleep. When it's so hot, it's just, you don't know what to do and you're tossing and turning. Janice is saying, Rach saying, I think it still looks nice that way around. Oh, around the other way where I put my dye. And Victoria's saying, good morning, Debbie. I'm a winter kid, so anything that's above 20, I don't like. And there needs to be a breeze. It's 17 centigrade in Preston today. I actually got the fan on as it's humid as well. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? We're all very different with the heat and how we like the heat to be. Right, so let me bring in both of mine that I've done, because you can see I've done both of these. But can you see this one's got a scalloped edge this way, and that way is the opposite way. So I'm going to just switch to that one because they're both the same. Not that it's really noticeable. Now, all I've done to make my shaker card is I've created a piece of acetate, or I've cut a piece of acetate that matches this same sort of around this edge here. I don't want to make it too big, because then when you put your shaker elements in, they'll go right to the bottom, and we want them to be where we can see them. And then I've put some red liner tape on, and I've put some foam tape already, which means that I can stick my red liner tape to the card itself, or the opposite way round, whichever way you want it to be. But I'm going to do it this way, so this will be at the bottom, and then we'll put our shaker elements in, and then we can pop that onto our card. So let's get our pieces ready. I've got that frame which we're going to put round the edges here, and I'm going to use my dotty tape pen for that. And just because I'm not using this one, I'm going to use this to go onto the back, just so it doesn't go onto my glass mat. And we're just going to put our dots all the way around there, because not only is your dotty tape pen great for your intricate dies, I think it's also really good for your small frames or anything that's just got a smaller edge. And we're just going to place that one around the edge like so. So I'm just checking that straight, a little bit up. There we go. And then turn that over, and we're just going to burnish that down. You know, I'm a big believer in burnishing everything that you stick, and then that way you know that that won't ever come apart. And then the next thing I want to do is to use the red liner tape like so on the back. And I do always use red liner tape because it is the stickiest tape that you've got and the strongest. It means that it won't come off of your card, because nobody wants a shaker card that's falling to bits. So we're just going to pop that on there. And the nice thing is whatever sentiment you want to use, you can use from here, because this is going to work for anything at all. So I'm doing that as close to that edge at the bottom as possible. Turn that back over. Again, I am burnishing that one down as well. That will make sure that's not going anywhere, like so. So that's created our little shaker element before we put anything in. So I'm just going to bring in my pieces here. Now I have done a piece to put on the back of this like so, and the only reason I've done that is because I want to put my shaker pieces in and then use this. So what I've done is I've took this piece of papers. These are from our Scent with Love. So we bought, I think we've still got the 12 by 12 padding, and then I've just got some cream cardstock which we're going to place on there. So I'm pretty sure I've done a 5 by 7 card. Yes, 5 by 7. So we're just going to stick this one into place. So just using the tape all the way round, like so. And then let's place that, do that the right way. Yes, that's the right way. And not that it looks like there's a right or wrong way, but there's just some wording on there. So if you are looking at it, you can see that that's okay to read if you need to. Not that we'll probably see it. So this you can put just straight over the top. So I could put some shaker card elements in there. I'm actually thinking I might do that instead of putting that on. I don't think it really matters, does it? So this piece was cut out of here, so it will match the frame. But I'm also thinking of that edge into there looks nice as well. No, we'll do what I was going to do in the first place. So I've got my sequins. So I'm trying to think which ones these were from. But I've got some red sequins in there. It's just a little mixed bag, and some pink sequins. And I am going to take my backing off my foam because I always do this and then catch it with my nail, and then it pulls it up. So, and then all the shaker bits go then all over the foam. So I like to do it this way, but you do it whichever way you like to do it. And then we're just going to place this in. And what I am going to do, just going to turn that over. That's the right way. Just going to make sure I pop this back in the right way. So like so. And then we're just going to tip our shaker pieces very gently inside there. So you can put as many or as little as you want if you want to fill it. I quite like a lot of shaker elements in. So just push that down like so. Might have put a little bit too many there, but I'm not going to worry about that. And then this will go directly over the top. Just want to make sure that we've put that where it's covered, like so. And then we're just going to put some tape all along there. Put that just across. And then that way that will stick to the backing as well. Make sure we've got plenty of that. Making sure my card opens the right way, turn that round. And there we go, we've got that thinking of you. And we're just going to place that right in the centre, like so. Once that's down, again, I still go in on the inside. Just give that a good burnish down. That will just make sure that will not come apart at all. There we go, we've got our lovely shaker element. And then all I've got just to finish that one off is a bow, which we're just going to put at the side there. And there we go, there's our first card with that shaker element and just using those dies, which makes that a really pretty card. I really love that. And they're some of my favourite papers at the moment. I absolutely love those ones. I think we might even have some of those in stock, which would be amazing. But yes, grab your paper pads. It's another thing really, isn't it? What is your favourite paper pads? Because when we're doing these shows, it means we can use whatever paper pads we want to use. And yeah, I do. I love the Scent with Love ones. Right, let's have a look and see if there's any more of you on with us today. We've got done Victoria, Laurie I've done. Oh no, Laurie's saying that sounds like a lovely hotel, but the shower curtain touching me is a dislike. I do love the heat when I'm at a beach or a pool. I mean, that is the best, isn't it? We're off on holiday in August to Lanzarote, and it's we're hired a villa, so there's 9 of us going. And it's got a pool, so that's the nicest thing. It's just our family, so we can just jump in the pool whenever we want. Not that you can't when it's anywhere else. But it's the nice thing is you sit in the hot and then you just want to cool down, you can just dive into the pool. And Lainey is saying good morning peeps. Good morning Lainey. Victoria is saying I do sleep with a duvet blanket no matter what the weather, as it is a weighted blanket. I just leave the fan on overnight until the noise annoys me too much. So Victoria, I know exactly what you mean. So I am slightly deaf. I've only got half hearing in my right ear. So when I don't want to hear anything, I just sleep on my left ear and I can't hear anything. So the fan, we have the fan on at night time. If I sleep on the opposite side, if I sleep on my right ear, I can hear it. So I have to sleep on my left ear so I don't hear it. So I totally get you there. Victoria's saying I can hear Ben laughing in the back. Is that in here? There is, oh, someone shut the door now because there's a bit of noise going on. There's some protesters across the road. There's people on the roof. So the police have been coming in to get their cups of tea. So they're just making sure everything is peaceful out there. So and all is good. But there's a lot of traffic coming through the doors today. So and plus Christina's Asda deliverer has come in today. So that's been in and out. But the doors are shut now, so we might not be able to hear anymore. Michael Adams is in saying good morning Debbie, from Michael and Stephanie. Hi Michael. It's so nice now that I can put your face to your name, Michael. It was really lovely meeting you at the pop-up shop, and Stephanie of course. And Karen is saying I live in Australia and hate the heat. Winter here is winter here now, which I love. Karen, not the best place to live in Australia if you hate the heat, is it? That's quite funny. Not funny for you, but you know what I mean. It's funny because Australia is really hot. But even in the winter, isn't the winter not that cold? I suppose. What are the temperatures like, Karen? Let me know. In the winter in Australia, I always find it strange because my aunt's brother lives in Australia. So they used to go, they went out one Christmas and spent Christmas on the beach having a barbecue. And I thought that was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. I like, why would people have a barbecue on Christmas Day? But it's because it's a hot country, isn't it? And that's what they did. But yeah, what's the actual weather like in the summer? I can still imagine it's still quite warm, not cold. I don't think Australia gets cold at all, does it? Lady Diver is on. Lady Diver, sorry. She's saying, set my alarm for 3 a.m. to watch from El Paso in Texas. I love that. And she said she loves the shaker cards. So yeah, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, so anyone that is just joining us, we are looking at the sentiment border dies. We don't have them in stock anymore, and it's why I thought I would do a craft your stash on this, because I just thought it's something that came in and went out so quickly. It would just be nice to get a few more ideas of what you can do with them. So it's nearly half the hour and I've got another demo to show you, because I wanted to show how you could cut them into your box lids. So what I've got here, let me just bring these, pop that to the side. I'm going to give you the measurements because I've already created my box. So because you've seen, if you need to know how to make a box, we can always do a craft together, or a craft your stash on your boxer board if you wanted to see different boxes. But we've got loads of tutorials out there as well. So what I've done with this one, I've used my cards, my glitter cardstock, and I've put my measurements on here. So we've got my lid is 7 by 7 and I've scored 1.5 inches, and my base is 12 by 12 and I've scored that at 4 inches. Okay, so my base is already done. So what I'm going to, oh, and what I've also done is I just turn it around. I've just put panels on here to look the same as what the box lid is. So because I just wanted to make a sort of just a really pretty box, and I quite like darker colours. So what I've done is made sure that the panels that I've put on allow for my box to go on the top. So when your box is closed, your lid will come over like so, and it means that the panels won't interrupt with that, because if the panels were higher, it would make the box lid tighter to put on. So I've already done them, and I'm going to put my tape onto these side panels. So let's do this one to start with, just making sure that we put tape all the way around. And this is a good little trick really. When you're using a tape pen and on construction, before we would say never use tape pens, only use red liner tape or a tacky glue. Our tape pen is super strong, but make sure you cover all the edges so no air gets in between, and then that way you know that your box is not going to come apart. The other thing is to make sure that you rub it down, because if you heat it between your fingers, you'll make sure that, so I just put some on my mat, it means it'll have a sticky mat, so I'm just going to take that away. And then it'll just make sure that it gets more tacky when it's heated up between your fingers, and then that will make it super sticky. So making sure we've covered that one, and then our last one onto here, like so. So Victoria's asking which glitter card this is I've used. I'm pretty sure, Victoria, this is the one. Do you remember the Cosmic collection? The Cosmic had a beautiful pad which had some amazing colours in it. This was one of the 12 by 12 Cosmic papers that we had in that sort of speciality pad. So that's the one I've used on there. Karen is saying day temperatures can be between 13 and 20 in Adelaide. To us, that is very cold. However, summer can be up to 45. So my son used to live in Mexico, and that's the same with him. So sometimes he'd have a jumper on when I FaceTimed him, and he'd be like, I'd be like, why are you wearing a jumper? And he'd go, well, it's cold. I said, well, what's the temperature? And he'd go, it's about 20 degrees. I'm like, that's really hot. But yes, when you're used to 40+ degree temperatures, that can be very much cold, isn't it? Your body just gets used to it, doesn't it? Gets used to those temperatures. And Stephen Nichols is saying he loves the heat, and Michelle's saying that she has these and loves them. Yeah, I'm hoping for all the people that didn't get them, they will come back in. Who knows? Maybe I need to. In fact, I tell you what we should do today. We need to ask you what you would like. Is there anything that you would like back in stock? Is there anything that you want that's that you think would be a good idea? Because Leanne and the team are asking for any ideas for new products. So if there is anything you would love to see, then absolutely let us know. Right, so I'm just going to move these in with my fingers to make sure that we're really heating those to make sure that our box will not come apart at all. Annie's saying, is there a template for this box, as I haven't seen this shape before? Annie, no. The actual box itself, if I put this down for you, you'll be able to see my measurements, so you can screenshot that if you want. The box base is made from a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and all I've done is scored it at 4 inches on the box base side of the board. And if you are new to us, we do boards like this. This is called our Master Score box, and it has a measuring guide from inches and centimetres. We always tend to use inches. On the bottom here, it's got box lid side. So what you would do to make the lid, you would place that on this side, and then I've scored this at 1.5 inches, and you just rotate your card 1.5 inches round on all sides. When you're doing this base one, your 12 by 12, you turn the bid round, and on the opposite side here it says box base, and then what you would do, you would score it at 4 inches on your box base side to make your box. So hopefully that helps. If you look on YouTube or anything like that, you'll be able to find that there's lots of box tutorials to help you make a box. But I like this size box because I like a bigger box with a smaller lid, and this just works really well. So but what we're going to do with the lid is we're going to use these on the lid. So I've got a with love there, like that, and then I've got to find my anniversary, because we're doing an anniversary box. So that's the one, anniversary, just there. And the reason I wanted to use 2 is because then we can use them at the same time. Now what I also want to do is use your glass mat. If you haven't got a glass mat, measure, but I want to make sure when I'm placing these on my glass mat, I'm putting these exactly on this first. Can you see this square here? There's 3 squares. They take up the whole piece of measurement here, which is 1.5 inches. So it takes 3 of these squares. This middle square, I'm making sure my points go to into that middle square. So we're just putting that across like so. And then we're going to do the same. So I'm just looking at that side, popping that one there. And then I'm going to use some tape to tape that down. And this time what I'm going to do is place this on that side and that side. What you'll also notice that I've done is my little tabs at the side. When I make a box, I tend to cut in, cut a little triangle out and then cut across. These ones, I've actually made just one tab down here, so it's this small tab. I've done that purposely, and I'll show you that in a minute. Victoria's saying, yes, she's got that cardstock. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, Victoria, because we forget to use. Do you know what oh yeah, it is the right way. I'm just making sure we've got those dies the right way. I'm going to do the same with this one. So again, finding my 3 squares, pop that to the middle section, and it's really important that you line these up this way, and again that will become clear once I show you. So there we go. Karen is saying we need a Grammy stamp. Grammy stamp. Would love to see a poinsettia. What's a Grammy stamp? Oh, do you mean a Grammy stamp as in the words? Does that mean like Grandpa, Grammy? Maybe. Love to see a poinsettia stamp and die or stencil group. Yes, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Oh, now Hillary's saying, I would like to see a Buddha collection or a Gothic collection. I like them ideas. I would definitely, so anything you put through, I'm going to send an email out later, and I will let the team know of all your suggestions. But I like that Buddha collection. I think that's a really nice one. I have lots of friends actually that collect Buddhas just because they're lovely. They look amazing. Oh, it's okay. Rachel said, don't worry, I'm taking notes, and she's going to forward them on to Taylor after the show. Amazing. Rach, are you with us later on as well? Because we could perhaps ask Ben. Oh, no, me and Ben are on Monday Makers later. We could do the same in Monday Makers and then ask. Kelly is saying, morning, Debbie. I don't mind the heat as long as there's a breeze, especially when you have friends over digging a foundation for my workshop. Oh, that sounds amazing. I love that, Kelly. I can't wait to have it finished, as I'll be able to have a craft-free table. I love that. It makes a difference when you haven't got to clear the table, doesn't it? I actually came up to head office yesterday because I had my early morning show. Otherwise, I'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to drive up. So I come up yesterday on Sunday, and yeah, and I decided last night that I would do some work, and it was lovely because I crafted at the table and I had the back door open, and yeah, let the breeze through, which was really, really nice. Right, so on these pieces, what you want to do, the pieces that are on this piece, oh, I've left a bit here so I can show you what to do. The pieces that are here, we're going to cut those away. So let me just use my scissors. Oh, Grammy is what my grandchildren call me. Yes, so that's what I thought you meant. I love that idea. That's really lovely. Grammy, yes. What did I'm trying to think what my son used to call my dad, because he used to call him, it nearly come to me then, it's such a long time ago. And then the pieces here, so you don't cut the tab away, you just want to trim that like so. So it keeps these in. Now the reason being is when you've got this piece, this creates a border, and then when you fold these, this piece will then act as that same border on the opposite side. So can you see it sort of takes in that piece there? And if you put them all in the same position, once you then put these together like so, let me just turn that around like that, you then get that perfect position in, coming round, and then you've got your post. So just because you don't need to see me do all sides of that, I'm going to bring in my finished one. So this is how it will look when it's done. Let me just bring in a white piece of card, and then that way you can see it a little bit more clearer. So just like so. There we go. So you've got all your sides around on there. And then I want to make those even more noticeable. So what I've done is cut the words out again, but this time I've cut them out in white. And we're going to mat and layer these over the words. So what I've done is just cut that border out, can you see? So that way we can just highlight those words. And the reason being is when we put them onto the box, that is navy, so then they will show through really clearly. So we're just going to use these, our dotty tape pen to go on top of that one. There we go. And I've done with love and anniversary all the way round. So let's use our dotty tape pen. Yeah, I think we definitely need sort of more collections. It's just knowing what sort of different collections you want to see that we haven't already done. I know that I'm always asked for. We do these because words are always popular, aren't they? Does anyone remember when we did Desire? Does anyone remember Desire? That was the name of our dye brand before we did the Gemini machine. And it was called Desire. And we did a folder, it was an A5 folder in a hard shell. And it had all the words in there. So like you had a page where it was all the men, so like dad, brother, can't even think, nephew, all those sort of things. I didn't even say it like that. All the male people. And then we did a women's one, so obviously your nan and your grandma and your mum and mom. And then we did ones where it was all your sort of anniversaries, birthdays, all that sort of one. There was all different sheets in there for so many different words and that, and it's one I use time and time again. And I would say they were probably about this size, so they were bigger than the other words that we'd just brought out. And I think, and everyone asked me where I get them from, but it's quite an old set and I use them still now. I think we could really do with another set like that coming out, which would be good. Right, so rubbing that one down as well. And then all I'm going to do with this one is, again, go onto the back and I'm going to really burnish that down. Now, that's really important because I can hear that in my ear. It's like sounding, isn't it? Oh, that's better. I think it's because I was pressed against the here that I could really hear the rubbing down in my mic. So we're just going to make sure we do that. It's important because we're putting it onto glitter cardstock. So I've just got a little piece there I want to get rid of, like so. Right, so now when we come to putting this down, we can still use our tape pen, but we're going onto glitter cardstock. So we need to make sure that we really do feel, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to bring in now my tacky glue. I just realised that. So I'm going to make sure all my lines are folded. And then what I want to do is I'm coming in with my tacky glue, and the reason being is because, and thank you whoever gave me that idea of putting a hole in with my pokey tool in the side. I love the fact that I can put my pin now in my little pot, which keeps it nice and safe. We only want to stick it to these sides here, so I'm going to put a little bit on each side, like so. And I'm going to do a couple at a time because we don't want our glue to dry. Now I'm just blowing this. Which way do we go? That way? No, which way did I put it on? Oh, that side. I don't know why I did it on there. Look, I've put it totally the wrong side. Oh no, I put that one. It's all right. I'm losing the plot there. So I'm going to just hold that into position for a second, because tacky glue just takes a little bit longer to hold, but it will give you the best stick. You can use your tape pens, but I think a tacky glue is good. If you've got any little pegs that you can put down, then absolutely use little pegs on the side. I know we used to have some little, what are they called, quilting pegs, quilting clips, and you could just pop them at the side. But once that's took hold, then it's absolutely fine. So all I want to do, it just doesn't seem to want to grab that, so I'm just going to hold that down And the only reason I want to use tacky glue, and that is because I want that to grip into the fibres of the cardstock. Because it's glitter card, I want that to really hold. So that's the first one. Then this one should be a little bit more tacky now to hold that into position. There we go. Oh, the other one's popped off again. It's always the way when you want to do it live on air. Just hold it down. Make sure that we've got those in place. That might need a little bit more on that one. And then let's do this side. So let's pop some onto here. And that tacky glue, I've not put loads on. And I'm blowing it because I want that to get a little bit more tacky. What will happen is it will evaporate. It will evaporate the glue a little bit more and then make it more tacky so it's ready to stick. And then it will stick a bit quicker. So tacky glue is amazing glue. What I would also say is don't use your Collao if you're using glittered cardstock, because it's a solvent-based glue and it will also take the shine off your glitter or even take the surface off of your glitter cardstock, so you don't want to use that. So I'm just making sure, just holding them down. Just needs a little bit of time just to hold that. And just be, oh, can you hear Keith? Can hear Keith then? Taylor come in and held the door open, and just for a second, but you can hear Keith booming. Love it when he's in the building, you absolutely know. So that's just holding that one down, there we go. And then we've got our last one just to stick into place. So again, putting your tacky glue in. Definitely use your intricate nib bottles, and then that way you don't get too much glue in one go, because if you put too much glue down, it just won't go tacky enough and it will take you forever to stick your boxes. So we're just giving that a little bit of a waft with me packaging, just to make that a little bit more tacky, and then we can stick that one down. So our last side, holding that one into place. But you can see how well, just by using your glass mat to measure, it works really well with getting that border all the way around. And then just creating your side pieces like that. Make it look really good. So popping that on. I've just realised I've put my sides together and not decorated the top, but that's fine. That will be fine. Right, so I think that's just about held. I am just going to leave that. That one looks a little, yeah, that one's coming apart. So I am just going to put a little more glue on that one. Like so. And then we'll just hold that one into place. And if you've got a little bit too much glue like there, just wipe that away, because that's not going to affect your cardstock at all. And it will dry clear, so it's absolutely fine to have that there. Let's have a look while I'm holding that. Yes, Kelly is saying, yes, Debbie, a vintage Gothic style is really nice, as it's mostly Victorian clothes. Oh, so yes, so Victorian clothes style, which can look beautiful. You know what, a vintage Gothic, and maybe some extra clothing that would go with our ladies through the ages. That would be a good call, wouldn't it? Michael Adams is saying, I would like textured paste in any colours, please. I might know something about that already, Michael. Can't say too much, though, about that. And sometimes with details like this, you don't need more decoration. It speaks for itself. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need too much, do you? So all I'm going to do now is really push down where I've already stuck to make sure that is fully stuck before I do any more. And then if you need to, you can always go in with a little bit more glue. But at least I know now that tacky glue nothing's going to get that apart. That will be absolutely fine. And then one more just on there. So that's holding all of those down. So we've got our box lid there. Then all I've done is the same with my box base. So because this was blue, I've just used a bit of blue to have blue on there and white, which we're going to just place onto here. And then I'm just going to stick that one down. And again, let's use our tacky glue, just because we're sticking directly onto glitter cardstock. You can also do red liner tape, that would be good as well. And then we're just going to place that right in the centre. Again, just holding that one down. Now, because I've got my sentiments, I've got with love and anniversary, I don't really want to put any other sentiment. You could, if you wanted to, put another banner going through the middle, but all I'm going to do is add some flowers. So we're just going to place this onto our lid. So that will go right onto there. And again, we're sticking onto glitter cardstock, so tacky glue again. And you'll see that all my tacky glue I use out of my small bottle because it's got a good flow. It means that you don't put too much on there, and less is more with tacky glue. If you put too much, it slips and slides and takes a little bit longer to stick. But this way it doesn't. So once I've got that stuck into place, take a little bit of time just to hold there. I'm then going to turn that over and then just push that down. And then that way you'll know you've got a complete stick all the way around, like so. You could always use the back of your scissors, and obviously it wouldn't have been so bad if I hadn't have stuck my sides together first, but that should be fine. There we go. And then I've made some little flowers. So this was originally what I was going to do my Craft Your Stash on, was our little flowers, because we haven't seen them in for a long time either. Do you know the ones that come in like those circles and then you curl them together and make these beautiful flowers? I absolutely love these. So I thought, right, I'm going to use those today. And we're just going to put some leaves into place. So don't need to stick all of them. Just going to pop them where I think that might be needed. Let's just pop these. I'll put them down afterwards. I just want to make sure that we put our leaves where they need to be. Let's pop that one there. And then one more at the top there. So I'll pop that one there. So really cute little box. And then I'm just going to grab some 3D glue gel and hope for the best. You always have to hope for the best with the 3D glue gel, that it's someone has placed it up the top. So let's just see. No. Oh, yes, 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 we're all good. I'm saying no before I've even checked. Sorry, sorry, sorry. So we're just going to place that one there, that one there. And I always like to do it in threes. Isn't it funny how threes are the magic numbers, they say? They're pleasing to the eye, 3 flowers, aren't they? Oh, nearly did that myself. So push a little bit up. And just in case anyone's wondering what I'm doing, I always push that to the top, then screw the lid on, because it'll stop that drying up. And if it does dry up at the top, it'll only be the little globule you have to pull off, and then the rest will be absolutely fine. So there we go. Let's just check that that all fits. There we go. Next one down. And there we go. There is our beautiful box that you've got with love and anniversary all the way round, and then just decorated beautifully on the top there. And there we go. And the great thing about a box like that is you can use any cardstock that you've got in your stash, any glitter cardstock, any Centura Pearl, anything you've got in there, but just looks like a lovely little box and makes a nice little gift to give to somebody, especially for their anniversary. So there we go. There's our box. Right, there we go. Let's have a look and see if there's any more people, any more ideas on our new products, so which would be amazing. Just clearing my dies, pop them away. Let's have a look. Oh, we got no more comments. So oh yes, no, we've already read that one. So we're all up to date with the comments. That's what I keep doing. I don't know what I'm doing. When I press something, it then just rolls back up. Mary Jo is with us saying good morning. Would love to see an Egyptian collection. I like that idea as well. An Egyptian collection would be amazing. And Mary is saying that the box is really lovely. Oh, thank you, Mary. Right, it's been a lovely morning to spend with you, a lovely hour, should I say, to spend with you. I'm going to be hanging around. I might even go back to the house to prep because next week we've got a new launch. Fingers crossed. I think it's coming, like we're not sure if it's here yet, but we're hoping that it will be here by next week. But there's some new, I think I can tell you, there's some new boxes coming next week. And yeah, you make them yourself. So, but I'm not going to tell you what the theme of them is, but they are absolutely amazing. So I'm going to be prepping some of those for next week. I'm also going to be getting ready for Monday Makers. I've got a couple of things to show you tonight. We're bringing back the Take Flight. Do you know the dies with the butterflies and the bee, which I absolutely love. We're going to be doing those tonight as well. I'm trying to think what else we've got on tonight. What else have we got on tonight? I can't honestly remember. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's see. Everything goes into one sometimes, and I know exactly what I am doing, but I've got to just remind myself. Let's have a look. We've got oh, Pasta La Vista, that's what we've got. Anyway, come back in an hour's time because Ben and our amazing Keith is coming. Bye.